Hello. Um, so, I think I've come to the decision that I'm going to start handing out advice. And many people would think that, why would you give advice? And I would have to, you know, agree. It kind of seems a little weird. Um, I don't have my life put together. I don't have things figured out. I haven't been able to do a lot of the things that I want to do in life. But I think that kind of helps, really. Um, Me personally, I don't want to hear advice. Like, I don't want to listen to somebody who's figured everything out and who always has what they want and what they need. I don't want to hear them telling me about all the mistakes I'm making and all the things I'm doing wrong and what I should be doing. Instead, I'm not going to do any of that. I'm not going to tell you what you should do and what you shouldn't do. What I'm going to do is give you tips on how to do things that you want to do. Whether you take whether you use those tips or not, whether you take my advice or not, that's really up to you. I mean, not it doesn't always work for everybody the way that I do things. Just like just like anything else in life. If you're wondering, I am on my phone. I'm outside having a smoke, which is kind of ironic because today I'm going to be working on or talking about how to quit smoking. And this isn't a surefire way to quit smoking either, uh, obviously, because if it was, I wouldn't be. But this is tips on how to help you if you want to quit smoking. If you don't want to quit smoking, uh, then don't. I haven't. I'm just not at that point. Trucks are loud. Okay. I haven't gotten to the point where I want to quit smoking yet either. So, I haven't. It has to be something you really, really want to do, not something you need to do or something you should do. You have to have it in your head that I really don't want to smoke anymore. Tip number one, you can't force yourself to quit if you're not ready. Just like you can't do a backflip if you're not ready. If you have doubts, you can fail. It's that's simple. It's the way it goes in everything. If you doubt that you're going to be able to do it, you're not going to be able to do it. If you don't think you can do it, you can't do it. So, that's tip number one. Make sure you're ready. Some people have told me it helps to replace it with something healthier. My grandpa, on as an example, um, he used to chew on straws. Whenever he got a little stressed, or if he was driving, or he was in a situation where he would normally have a smoke, he'd either grab a straw or a toothpick or something like that, and he'd chew on it. He'd have it in, he'd hold it like you would hold a smoke in your mouth, and chew on it, or even just move it around. You know, kind of the same way you would do with a smoke. Um, Another person said chewing on carrot sticks helped them. Um, Physical activity, replacing it with like doing something physical, helps some people. Like push-ups. Something as simple as that. Taking a walk without having a smoke, obviously. Um, yeah, just getting up and walking around, or getting up and, you're sitting at home and it's like, man, I could really use a smoke right now. And instead of actually going out to have a smoke, get up and just walk around. Um, if you're somewhere where you're allowed to smoke inside, limit yourself to where you can smoke inside. Um, and make sure it's, your choice as to where it is. If you've got a super comfy chair or whatever, just say, you know what, I'm not going to smoke anywhere than right here, or something like that. Or even move it to outside eventually. Say, I'm not going to smoke inside. That means you actually have to get up, go outside to have a smoke. It makes it a little bit more of a pain in the ass to actually have a smoke. Meaning, you're going to think about it and go, you know what, maybe I don't really need a smoke right now. I don't want to get up and put pants on and go outside. Stuff like that kind of seems to help. Helps me anyways. I was never allowed to smoke inside, so I'm used to having to get up and go outside, but it's still a pain in the ass, especially when winter comes. Because then it's like, I gotta get up, and it's cold, and there's snow, and nah, I don't need to smoke that bad. Another thing is, this one I haven't tried myself, but whenever you feel the need to go out and have a smoke, take out a sheet of paper, and just have some lined paper with you, like a little notebook. Go to a page in it and start writing down the pros and cons, just quickly, a small little list of pros and cons of you going out for a smoke right at that moment. Taking the time to actually sit down and think about why you want to smoke, and what you're going to get out of it, both bad and good, might make you think, it's too much work for not enough gain. Try not to limit yourself to a specific amount of smokes a day. Thinking about that throughout the day, it might stress you out a little bit and make you want to smoke. Keep yourself away from stress. I know that's kind of hard for some people. It's hard for me. I work, I go to school. But try to limit, on your downtime, try and limit the stress that you surround yourself with. Distracting yourself with things you really like to do. Like, if you love something, specifically, I love music. Absolutely, I love it. It's my life. I think critically about music when I listen to it. I try and comprehend, not comprehend, but I try and understand the different instruments and how the people are making the music they make with those specific instruments. So what I have done, and what I tend to do, is I will throw on some music, throw a playlist together of music that I really, really love and that I haven't figured out yet, and then pick a mindless task. For me, that's solitaire. I can sit there for hours on end and listen to the same 5 songs while playing hand after hand after hand of solitaire, because I don't have to think very hard about the game of solitaire, and I can concentrate on the music that's playing in the background, giving me enough distraction that I kind of lose track of time and forget that, I need a smoke, that I want to smoke. That tends to help me. I don't know about you. I mean, honestly, it could be anything. Like, if you love to write, sit down and start writing. And it's not that easy, really. I know. I write sometimes. But, I mean, even drawing, just sketch doodles, stuff like that. It might help. I don't know. It might not. Like I said, this isn't a surefire way. This isn't things that will absolutely 100% help you quit. This is just things you might want to try if you haven't thought of it yet. That's about it. Like, there's not much to it, really. And I mean, There is and there isn't. It's tough to quit. It's hard. It's very, very hard. The next few things are going to be for people who know smokers trying to quit or working towards quitting. Now, constantly reminding them that they're quitting isn't a good idea. That tends to stress me out when people say, "How's the quitting going?" all the time, and that's one of the first things they ask me. It makes me remember that I'm trying to quit and that it's actually really hard and it's stressful and I want to smoke now. Yeah, so constantly reminding them or constantly asking them about it, not a great idea. That being said, small little things like you've noticed they haven't had a smoke in 4, 5, 6 hours, and it's been quite a while since they've had a smoke. Just kind of, small things, Hey, you're doing really well. I'm proud of you. Something like that, that goes a long way. I mean, that it'll help to raise their confidence at the very least. Honestly, somebody looks at me and says, "Man, it's been like 4 hours. You haven't had a smoke, man. I'm proud. That's awesome. You go." Fuck. That makes me feel awesome. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I'm pretty great. I'm gonna go back to music and solitaire now. Stuff like that really, really seems to help, I've noticed. Don't get between them having a smoke. Like if they get up and they're like, "I really, really need a smoke," go, "Okay, well, go ahead." Don't stop them. Don't say, "You're trying to quit," or "That's not a really good idea if you're quitting." No, just go with it. Be like, "All right, if you need a smoke, go for a smoke." Just kind of let them be. Because if they've been doing really well, and they have been limiting themselves, then chances are that they really, really need a smoke or they're gonna freak out. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen television shows like interventions and stuff like that, but getting between someone who's going through withdrawal and what their withdrawal symptoms are from, that's a surefire way to get them to not like you and possibly act violently towards you. If I haven't had a smoke in 6 hours and there's a pack of smokes 20 feet from me and you're between me and the smokes, I'm gonna mow you down. I don't care if you're my sister, my mother, my brother, my grandmother. I don't care. I'll mow you down. So really be supportive. Don't constantly remind them of it. And if they say, "I really need a smoke," trust their judgment. They know themselves pretty well. And they know smoking really well. That's about it. If you got a situation or something that you think people would benefit from having advice for, let me know. I'll see if I know anything about it. And if not, I'll go research it for you. I'll go research the shit out of it. Why? Because I like to distract myself from my own problems. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope this helped, at least a little. Talk to you later.